Hello, welcome to August 15th, 2024. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily good life meditation. Let's do a walk around the block, so to speak, this little 5-acre property. There's a course that runs around the periphery here that I walk many times every day. It's just my course. Woof, woof, yourself. All right, this is an exercise that I do. I call it my good life meditation. I do it every day, a little bit after waking up. I've been doing this for probably 5+ years now, and I use this time to remember my life objectives and principles, those from my book Going Alone. I also use the time to think about yesterday and last night and how I did with the opportunities and challenges that I met. I plan for the coming day, and I ready myself for death. Let's begin. Yesterday and last night, another great night of sleep. That's just so routine now that I don't even have to say anything about it. Yesterday was a very good and solid day. I flipped a big switch. I pulled the trigger and submitted the documents for my retirement to kick off my pension. Which was really big event. Now it wasn't just a big event that took one lunch break to do. It took months. It was months in preparation. I had to attend training I've been doing this for like the last 6 months. I attended 2 separate training sessions put on by my employer to basically teach us how to retire. And then I had a counseling session with a member from HR. They did a great job. They basically it was a one-on-one session, and I could have as many of those sessions as I wanted, but I just needed the one. And the counselor went over everything, whatever I wanted to volunteer. Went over the facts of my pension. They asked all kinds of interesting questions, like making sure that I covered all the bases for medical, etc. And basically, they give you a green light, or you're not so ready, right? Or whoa, you better wait. And they gave me a green light. That was at least 6 months ago. And from there, I've been doing lots of little bits of planning here and there along the way. So yesterday's event of going through the paperwork, it was all online, was simply a matter of going to the website, logging in, and then going through a series of must have been a dozen steps, step by step on the website, filling in information, beneficiary information. The beneficiary is, of course, my wife. I've got it set up now that, and see, this is the type of thing, to figure out how you want to do it. I wanted it set up so that if I die, she continues to get 100% of my pension until she's dead. And so I've got that all set up. It meant that I had to take a little bit off the top for our monthly, but that provided that guarantee and that assurance in the end, which I really wanted. So I got to that last page after filling out all the information and hovered over the button, which meant my career's coming to an end. Just lingered there for a second at the thought. An impossibility. When I've been working for 40 years, an impossibility all the time. It never even crossed my mind. There were a couple of times in my career that I entertained the thought of escape, just like running away. I mean, with my wife. Now, I would never run away from my family, but Yumiko and I, in fact, we almost did that once. We almost left Santa Barbara. I'd actually formally quit my job at software.com, and I was called back in to the company, and they made me an offer to stay, which was the offer that I chose to do, and was the thing that led us eventually to come to Japan. And when Emily was born, after Emily was born, but it was never a thought that I could stop working. It was always a thought that I could just escape from this, whatever cauldron of difficulty I was in, to start afresh somewhere new, never thinking that it would be necessarily a relief, but a change. But this button, hovering over the button yesterday, was a very different thing. It was the thing where if I push this button, then I execute such a profound and big change that it's not a runaway. It's not a change. It isn't change. It's a wholesale transformation of life. from the working man to the retired man and all that entails, which is proving less formidable now that I'm getting closer. So many who've gone before me have told me, don't worry about it. I mean, sure, we all know the stories of those who struggle with their free time. I do worry, I might be one of them, but I'm less and less worried about it. Now that I pushed the button, I made it happen, and December 12th, 2024 is my last day of work. I feel like I've crossed a Rubicon of sorts on the other side. No challenges yesterday, just big eventful transformation, the start of the transformation. I did face one small challenge. It was a small one. I was talking to the dog shipper. I'm trying to arrange so that I can fly with Rudy on December 20, which day is December 18th, when we fly to Japan together. And she told me that she wouldn't have confirmation for the flight until 2 weeks beforehand, which makes it a little problematic for me reserving a ticket on the same flight in advance. So I used my principles. A little bit frustrated, and realized there's nothing I can do about that. That's my true limit. My limit is that's simply the fact that the way that shipper operates, which is Japan Airlines, there's nothing I can do about that. So I have to adjust my expectations accordingly and realize that I'll just simply need to be on standby to buy an airline ticket 2 weeks before flight, which will be expensive on a major airline, no less. But this whole thing has been expensive. Add one more piece to the pile. It was a good day yesterday. All right, for today, let's talk about the creed real quick. There are 8 objectives. These are to be always ready to die, to have my affairs in order, my relationship sound, and my life's work complete. And they all are. So I could keel over right now with a heart attack, and that would be, although I'd like to stick around, that would be fine insofar as everything is settled. I am prepared to die. The second objective is to make good and effective use of my time, not to waste my days, my moments, especially now that my moments are going to become my own. Really don't want to waste those. I'm ready. 3, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles and objectives. That's the ones I'm referencing right now. And I do that by virtue of this daily exercise. Although I got to get back in gear on the principles part. The objectives are what I'm after. The principles are the tools that I use to get there. Next is to cultivate good emotional reactions, to become someone who reacts well in the moment to difficulties. Then to perform good actions, just to do good things throughout the day. I think I mixed it up a little bit. To recognize my true limits and my true opportunities. Didn't I already say that one? Hold on, let's try again. To be always ready to die. To make good and effective use of time. To develop and maintain good and sound life principles. To cultivate good emotional reactions. To perform good actions. To recognize my true limits and true opportunities so that I know what is within and without the scope of my control. To do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully. As I'm doing more and more as I do this daily walk along this trail, this hike, we're circling around and around this property. I'll walk more deliberately and carefully. It's good practice. And then finally, to keep my balance so that I'm not off kilter, both here and here. There's a lot tied up in that one. All right, I'm going to skip the principles now because I still don't have my cheat sheet. I used to know them all by heart. Okay, as for today, I'm going to complete this walk, and then I will go back to my desk. I start work at 6:30 a.m. I'll send an email to my boss, tell him I'm getting the day started. Then of course I'll put my work shirt on, and then I'll get started in earnest. I have a full morning of meetings today. And then after my meetings are complete, I'm going to get in the car and drive to Riverside to visit with HR to take care of some retirement stuff. A little unfinished bit of business, address change, basically. And then I have another meeting in the afternoon, and then I'll come home and spend the day with my dogs, evening with my dogs, take them to probably back to Julian, where we usually go, and have a nice evening together. And that's about it. So thanks for joining me. I wish you all the best, and remember to be safe, but not too safe. Take care.